It's the JT Cho Show!
10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the JT Show. I'm your host, JT. Today is, I don't even know what the fuck today is. The 18th of October, spooky season! Wow, already swearing already. It's 2020 October 18th, I do believe. This episode will premiere Monday morning on YouTube at 7. Episode 55 of the JT Show. And the guest that I promised last week, Prather's here. Now, we were getting ready. He was setting up his headphones. I was pouring me some coffee. Doesn't know I'm dressed like this. So, we're going to bring Prather in right meow. You say meow? Right meow? Right meow. And we're going to be talking a lot of subjects today. Sit back, relax, crack a cold one open, hit your cruise control on your car, drive safely, because here comes Pratt Daddy. I hear some guitar going.
Oh, dude. Just in the nick of time.
Hey, your camera's doing something wonky.
Oh, yeah, it is.
There we go. Looking good. How you doing today, Prather?
Hey.
Dude, you're looking fresh. You got a fresh fucking cut. Your beard's nice and cleaned up too, dude.
Hey, man, my hogs are winning. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. And fuck Auburn.
I mean, first of all, Auburn's been. I have family in the South. I don't claim anymore because we don't talk, but they're Gamecocks fans, okay? And they used to tell me back in the day that you take your hat off and you say cock in your face. Now, that might not be PC today, but that's what I learned in the South. And I'm not a fan of Clemson. I am a fan of Trevor, but I am not a fan of fucking Clemson. So go Cox, okay? I will say that as a secondary. I know, that hurts. We're going to cover a lot of shit today, but I know you want to talk about your hogs. And by your hogs, we mean Arkansas Woo Pigs. So go ahead, give me how is college football season going for you this season, and tell me about your hogs, man.
So if you want to see a complete 180-degree turn in your football program, hire Sam Pittman.
Now I remember last week they lost, correct?
That was some bullshit.
Yeah. So you hit me up. You hit me up because I originally asked you to be on. You had stuff going on, then you said, "Wait a minute, I want to come on. I got a bitch about the pigs." What do you think leads to this turnaround? Like, tell me how your hogs are doing, and tell me, what do you think happened to turn their asses around?
So Sam Pittman, he went to Georgia. He was actually offensive line. I think it was like 2013 through 15 with Brett Bielema at Arkansas. He was offensive line coach. And then he went over to Georgia, did some things, learned a little more about defense, met this old man named Barry Odom. Son, brought him to Arkansas. We were kind of in the slums with fucking Chad Morris, of all people. Now he's the offensive coordinator for Auburn, which is, I don't even understand that fucking logic. Right. Gus Malzahn's kind of an idiot. I mean, maybe not, because Gus Malzahn still is the offensive coordinator. Like, he just hired a little, geriatric assistant who drinks too much Red Bull to run around and be his get-back coach or something. I don't know what the deal is. Anyways, Sam Pittman brought in a staff. And they have been doing big things, and bringing back recruiting, using the talent they have to build off of. And it's been a glorious year as a Hog fan right now. I mean, I know it's week 4. I know that. Mm-hmm. Going into week 5, we got a little break before I think we got A&M next. But yeah, dude, it's been a great year for the Hogs. I can't be happier. So now this Auburn bitch I got, I'm pissed about this shit.
All
Fuck
right.
These boys. Fuck your War Eagle or your fucking Tiger. I don't give a fuck. Either one of them.
Right.
Dude, if you watch the play, right, so we got them down. I think, what was it? It was like 28 to 26. Or it was something like that, right? So we had them – they needed a field goal to take the lead, right?
Right.
And anyways, we're going – we got them down. It's like 3rd down or some shit. And they go and – try to stop the clock. They're out of timeouts, right? So there's literally 33 seconds on the clock. We got to take a knee. Get the ball, take a knee to do this. So anyways, they have the ball. What's his name? I forget his last name. Bo Nix.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the snap, right? Fumbles the snap. So now he picks it up, and by spiking it and clocking the ball, it becomes intentional grounding.
Right.
The officials were so focused on that intentional grounding call that they completely ignored the fact he threw this bitch a yard behind him.
I saw the way he threw it. It was horrendous. It was one of the worst mechanics for an intentional grounding that I've seen.
Dude, he took a step backwards and threw the ball.
I believe he threw it two-handed too.
Whatever he did. At that point, I was like, that's a damn fumble. That's a backwards. And
right.
Our cornerback, who is a fucking stud, I think his name's Fuchsia, he comes over, lands on it immediately, and they cited all these rules and all this stuff on their statement to the SEC or whatever. Was like, oh man, like, no, there has to be an immediate play for the ball, which there wasn't with a football move and all this shit. And they tried it. And I was like, no, you guys anticipated a call. You blew a whistle early, and then you're like, oh, fuck, what do we do now? Well, I guess we'll go to the booth. Let's just give them the clock and intentional grounding and run 10 seconds off. No. Now it's 4th down. These sons of bitches let them kick a field goal to go up, and now it's like 30-28, and we lose the fucking game. I mean, granted, okay.
Heartbreaking.
One play does not make your whole game, but one play can instantly turn it around. I mean, you've seen this. You're a Packers fan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, shit, I've seen it in college, too. Michigan State blocked a kick, scored a touchdown, game winner, dude. That's like I'll go outside and start digging my own fucking grave watching that replay over and over. But with the referee issue, the Patriots faced almost the same exact issue. And here's the problem. There was a play in the NFL. The Patriots, not only was it a fumble, not only did the quarterback fumble, but they caught the ball before it even touched the ground. So the quarterback fumbled the ball, technically, but even if it was a throw, it never touched the ground. The Patriots defender came in and picked it up in the air, and then they blew the whistle early. They blew the play completely dead. The Patriots didn't get the ball back. It was a non-reviewable play. And the referees come out with some bullshit saying like, oh, because of the stipulation that the quarterback was doing this and this and this, we were right. No, referees need to come out and take accountability for themselves.
100%.
They need to say, I fucked up. Okay. I fucking made the wrong call. I fucked up. That's why I'm a huge, I think they need one additional referee, and I think they need an in-house, in-booth referee. They need somebody watching the cameras. They need, instead of, it's the headquarters thing isn't working, they need somebody there on their headsets to say, hey, you guys should take a fucking timeout because you were wrong. Now, he shouldn't overturn everything, but maybe implement him in the last 2 minutes of the game. Maybe implement him in challenges. But there needs to be, I don't exactly have the answer, but I think
like a quality assurance.
Yes, but the true answer is that referees need to take accountability for themselves.
Yeah.
Now,
if those guys would have came out and been like, we fucked that call up, guys. We're really sorry.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Here's what I saw. Here's what I saw, and here's why I fucked up. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that horrendous ending, tell me about this last week.
Dude. So Jason Brooks is an LSU fan, right? But we go back with the military and stuff anyways. We're cool, right? So I had this big plan for the whole week for the whole week to go hang out with this guy, right?
Right.
And he was going to make some etouffee, all this stuff, right? So we're pumped, right? We're going to have a good time. Well, LSU Florida gets a little COVID crisis. We'll postpone to the end of the season. So he gets to sit there and watch me root for my fucking Hogs all Saturday.
Right.
And anyways, we're there. We're watching the game. First half, dude, 20-0. I was like, what in the hell are we doing right here? Because we didn't do this every weekend. This is a great time.
Yeah, whatever you're doing today, write it down.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
Frame it. Put it on the wall every single time.
Right.
Just put it next to your phone or something.
How do we prepare this week? Write that down. Did someone take notes? What did we do in practice?
Right. What'd you have for lunch? Yeah.
How many times did you wipe your ass? Write it down.
Did you take a shit before the game?
Were you wearing a thong? Were you wearing a baseball thong, or were you wearing just your lucky britches?
Right.
Because baseball players wear thongs when they're in ruts.
Yeah. That's it. That's Jason Giambi all the way right there.
Right.
But yeah, dude. So defense was phenomenal. Offense is learning how to drive. They're getting their timing. It's just a familiarization thing for the offense, man. It's like Felipe Franks came from Florida. He's a grad transfer, and he is getting in sync with our juniors. You know what I mean? These are guys that have played under different organizations, different, a complete new offense that they're running. And Rakeem Boyd, out of Last Chance U, he's back. He's healthy. He was looking pretty good.
Right.
I still think that Traylon Smith, our number 2 back, is probably better than Rakeem.
Okay.
I'm going to say that like boldly. I mean, granted,
I'll allow it.
Yeah, he's healthy right now, and the dude he just hits the hole harder, man.
Like, by the way, I allow it. That is a Alex Pepper phrase that I incorporate in my life to this day. I'll allow it.
Oh, Pat, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, wood craftsman.
Did you see the? Have you seen the bullshit going on with the Air Force right now with that Chief Master Sergeant?
No.
Oh man, it's
bullshit.
Okay. So I told my work crew that. Okay, by the way, let me say this. I got a new controller. I got the Elite 2. Okay, I finally said fuck it. I jumped the gun. I needed a new controller. I used the Elite Series 1 for 5 years almost. 5 years my controller lasted me. I don't throw them anymore. They're too expensive. That one was even more expensive. It lasted me 5 years till the joysticks weren't very good anymore. The bumpers were broken. I already replaced them once. It was time to bury it and to get a new one. I finally bought a new one. You can adjust the joystick sensitivity with a little, you can take off the covers, take a little tool and change it to as loose or as tight as you want. This makes panicking, takes it down. So when you panic and you swing real fast, it slows your gun down. You can still have high sensitivity, but you can really get rid of that gray area where you're swinging your gun. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, first game, we got annihilated. We used to play after work sometimes, annihilated. Bad drop. I'm like, this bullshit again. I fucking hate this. I haven't got a win in forever. Second game, we get set up. The guy on our team's going off. He's the MVP. He's the MVP. He got 10 kills. Now, support kills wise, me and my other homie got 4 apiece. That's 18. We're not pros, but great circles. I went back to the MP7 as well. I just said, fuck it. I'm good with this gun. I'm not good with all these other builds that everybody else makes. I know that makes me like less shitty of a gamer. I'm not as good with the MP5. I still use Nick Merckx's M4 class, which came in clutch down the having range, that amount of range to like cover fire. Because most of the time I'd be like cover fire, and then like my homies would move and kill. Okay, I like to play some support roles.
Press.
Now,
yeah.
Anyways, so while we won a game, finally, Warzone champions. While we finally won, I told my people that I work with, they're all civilians. Nobody has any military experience. I said, hey guys, this is the only time in the world that I wish you guys had some military experience. They're like, why? Like the game? And I was like, no, dude, these memes are fire. So there's this Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Her last name is BASS. So they could be base, it could be bass. I still don't know because I haven't done any research. Now, some Sergeant Banks commented, is it bass or bass or base? He commented on Facebook, is it BASS or BASS? Now, she replies to his comment publicly saying along the lines of, you and your friends like to troll. I'd like to talk about this on Monday, essentially. So the memes about Staff Sergeant Banks, like there's they've got some Marvel ones where it's like, what did you lose? And he's like, everything. And then his rank's A1C. There's another one. Somebody started a GoFundMe page saying like he's the hero that we didn't deserve, but the hero we needed, because he's about to lose all his money. So there's all this stuff going around about Airman Banks. Well, I'm already preemptively calling him Airman Banks. Yeah, but oh man, but they would never understand. They would never understand.
Hilarious.
They would never understand our pain. You know, they will never understand how funny of a moment it is in life when shit like this happens.
Dude, I will say, I'm going to talk shit about daggers for like 2 seconds here.
Dude, talk all the shit about you. Talk all the shit you want.
Maybe a minute or 4.
I mean, like, without naming names, or I'm out. But yeah, just talk shit about the daggers.
Okay, so there was a bunch of them that played intramural softball at Cannon, right?
Right?
And we know a few guys. There was a larger Hispanic male who was a pretty good dude.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he was out there, and I was kind of hyping him up and kind of mouthing a little bit. But we also had a chief master sergeant over our squadron. If you do not remember, that was one of the first daggers who
Yep.
was all cock strong about that shit.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
anyways, I started yelling at I started yelling at the homie, and I was like, damn, bro, you're a dagger and you can't even get the fucking ball out of the park. And I was tasked for deployment within like the next 2 months or some shit. Well, this chief heard me make that comment, did not know my relationship with that dude, and that I was trying to blow up his head or, whatever.
Yeah. You're just bullshitting your boy.
And he went and told a couple of the S4 guys, and he was like, he needs to be off that deployment right now. He does not respect those guys. And, he doesn't all this and that. And I was like, save me a trip out west, son. I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean,
good deal.
That specific chief had a Donald Trump moment when Donald Trump was asked, okay, this is as political as I'll get. I'm not saying I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not saying I am a Trump supporter. I'm just telling you what happened on TV. The moderator asked Trump, do you denounce white supremacy? Now, in Trump's defense, oh my God, he's defending Trump. MAGA, MAGA. Ah. Anyways, in Trump's defense, in many, and I can't say the word many interviews, he has completely denounced white supremacy and the organizations that go along with it. But specifically this time on a very fucking important debate in America, he was asked the same question, and he responded first like, oh, who do you want me to condemn? I'll do it. And then he said, instead of saying, yeah, white supremacy sucks, it's like, if you think you're fucking an elitist because of the color of your skin, you're a piece of shit. Instead of going along those lines, he said, fucking Proud Boys, stand down, stand by, all that shit. Totally the worst shit you can say. You had an easy fucking touchdown. You were 1 yard away, handed off to Marshawn Lynch, and you throw the fucking ball in the end zone. Okay, we remember that tragedy. Now, that specific chief had the exact same fucking moment. Now, people were saying, oh, he favors daggers. Oh, he favors daggers. Going around, Leonard Kenny, bad gas travels fast in a small town. Well, fucking bad gas travels real fast in a small squadron at a small base. So he hears all these rumors that, the chief doesn't respect the normies, the muggles. He's all about his dagger boys. So he comes to brief, and while he's explaining that he's not favoring these daggers, he's like, oh, come on, guys, I'm not doing it. They understand, right, daggers? Right? You guys understand, right? And I'm like, you're doing it right fucking now, right in front of us, dude. Right fucking in front of us, dude. That's like you telling me you didn't murder somebody and you're just fucking wiping off the knife right in front of me. I'm like, bro, you gotta hide it better than that if you're not gonna fucking deny it. Fucking idiots, man. Now, how do you view college football season as a whole this year? I know if you're listening, you're like, what the fuck? These guys are Call of Duty fucking Donald Trump all over the place. That's my podcast. If you don't like it, please subscribe still, but fuck off. How do you view college football, Prather, this year?
Okay, I'm going to hurt some feelings right here. I'm sorry in advance. Sorry, I'm not sorry. This, to me, is exactly what us as SEC fans wanted. We wanted best on best. We wanted the winner of the season. I want to see Bama get beat twice, bro. That's what I would love. Fuck and Bama. The Big Ten, dude, I'm sorry to say this, bud. I know this is going to hurt your feelings too. Hopefully Josh Miller's, because he's an Ohio State fan, and fuck Ohio State first and foremost.
I won't condemn that statement at all. Okay, go on.
I love you, Jay Mills. But
yeah, anyways, listen to this, dude. He always comments. He's a true homie. I leave him on all my job references.
It's great. It's great that you guys could finally show up to the fucking game, because we've been doing this for a while. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't entirely disagree with pulling out. I think that they pulled out preemptively, thinking everyone's going to follow foot. I've watched I've watched the least amount of college football I ever have in my life. Just like Sundays, my entire weekend, college game day, usually Big Ten plays at noon, a big primetime game plays in the afternoon, and then you got your Sunday night game versus your, number 2 versus 7 or SEC rivalry. I mean, like, as much as I fucking hate Alabama, they're always on primetime.
Right. You can
But
always find that game.
but this year it's hard because, like, number one, I don't know if you agree with this. Fuck the rankings this year. Okay.
Oh my God. There shouldn't be rankings. This is a scrimmage season, is what it is.
This is a to be real. This is just a conference championship NFL draft stock season. Okay, because no one's playing at the same time. You have all these teams that would never be ranked.
100%. Tennessee was ranked, like top 20.
Yeah. Who was it? There's another school that lost that was ranked. Might have been Kentucky.
Yeah.
Kentucky was ranked 16th this last weekend, and they got beat by Tennessee, I believe. But Tennessee was ranked way higher. But for me, rankings without all the college football teams, it's kind of like
and cross-conference play. There's no – you can't equate, like Ole Miss, I think they were ranked too. They might have been. They might have not been. But they went in and, played the hell out of fucking Bama. I don't know if you caught that game. Yeah. Played the hell out of them for 3 quarters and then just fucking
anytime Alabama is about to shit the bed, I'll turn it on so I can say,
oh, yeah.
Just so I can be like, good.
Right.
Because, I mean, like, honestly, you got Joshua Miller, okay? Ohio State fan, homie of the homies, okay? You've got Nick Marsano, rubs it in my face a little harder, okay? Miller does let me know the score, but Marsano goes out of his way to let me know the score.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, you watched the game?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you watched the game?
Yeah. And, Michigan has not been successful against Ohio State. It's very painful. But
when's the last time y'all won?
5 years ago?
5 years?
6 years ago? I don't fucking remember. It's not Harbaugh. Not the Harbaugh era.
No.
But
was it left?
But fuck Alabama fans. You got one specific tech sergeant, nicknamed Batman.
I am Batman.
Pigs.
Smoke some cigarettes.
Yeah, dude. Like, fucking
do some post checks.
Yeah, dude. Fucking worst, man. We're dogging on the military. We support you if you're in, dude. Thanks for serving our country. But we're prior vets, so we're gonna fucking sit here and complain about it because
I'd talk the same shit to his face.
Yeah. I mean, like, these specific people, like, fuck them, dude. Like, I have no problem being like, yeah, you were a cook, okay? C-U-C-K. Now, I have a question for you. You're a huge college football fan. You love your Woo Pigs. Your Saturdays, you're grilling, you're playing cornhole, you're fucking having a good old boys time. But then the NFL falls completely off for you. Why is that? Why is that transition?
So
a dead drop off.
I love my Hogs when they get drafted. I want to see, like, those boys do good. Like Peyton Hillis, Darren McFadden,
Ryan
Felix
Mallett.
He's kind of a big bust.
Yeah.
Cannon for an arm. Idiot. Big old goon, dude, is what he was. But anyways, like Trey Flowers, those kind of guys. Dude, it's just the money in it, like the drive these kids have in college. Like, they have to get on the field. They have to perform. They don't go up here and bitch about a contract. Like, look at fucking Ohio State, Ezekiel Elliott, go up here, I need more money, throwing a damn fit. And what has he done at Dallas, bro? Like, what has he done?
I mean,
he got paid.
He's put up constant numbers, but at the same time, he's also been stuck.
Over the top, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's my keeper running back at the moment. But at the same time, he hasn't been the best running back in the league, I think, since his rookie year.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, dude. That's the whole reason, man. I mean, it's not even about the whole.
Bell from Michigan State. I believe Le'Veon Bell came from Michigan State. I think so. I can't hear. I mean, I'll look it up. I think so. But I think he came from Michigan State. But again, if he didn't, then I'm a fucking idiot, dude. MSU, Le'Veon Bell. Again, fucking bitched about his money, got to the Jets, got his money, then he bitched about playing time being utilized, and now he's on the Chiefs.
Right.
For me, I mean, like, you don't even Arkansas doesn't have a pro team either.
No. That's I'm so dedicated to college.
And I mean, like, if you had, I mean, like in your area, no one wants to be a Falcons fan anymore.
I don't want to be.
I mean, and then
Sorry, Jerry Jones. I love you,
yeah,
dude.
oh
He's a
yeah,
Alumni for Arkansas, but
yeah.
you know,
I will say this on record: my disdain for the Cowboys is my number one hated football team. I do not like them. I do not wish them success. I do not wish injury upon their quarterback, Dak Prescott. I hate injuries like that.
right?
But I hate the Jerry Jones era. I don't like him as an owner. I don't like the Cowboys at all. Anytime they lose, I'm happy. And we were talking about this. Aaron Rodgers potentially, I'd say a 60-40 in favor of leaving Green Bay before his career's over. Very high possibility. If Aaron Rodgers goes to any other team, I'm at least supporting Aaron Rodgers as an individual. Even if he goes to the Bears, even if he goes to the Vikings. I have a Brett Favre Jet jersey and I have a Brett Favre Vikings jersey, okay? I will still be a Packers fan, but I fucking love Aaron Rodgers. But if Aaron Rodgers ended up in Dallas, I would say, fuck him. I'll wish him a well retirement. Yeah, I hate the Cowboys. I hate their colors, their stars, we them boys. I hate all that shit. Put it all in a bag, fucking tie it up, and throw it in the fucking river for it to drown. Because you're garbage. You won 3 playoff games in the last 20 years. You ain't them boys. And you just need to realize that you're essentially the Aints. You're the Aints of the 90s. If you don't know who the Aints are, they now have an S called the Saints because they got Drew Brees and they came back alive and they had Bountygate, fuck Drew Brees, fuck Sean Payton, and they won a Super Bowl. So they ain't the Aints anymore. They're the Saints. Now the Cowboys are the Aints, man. And by the way, misogynistic, sexism. I hate when they call them the Cowgirls because, I mean, like, come on, man. Anyway. But
that's the best part about Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't compare them to girls because, girls have resiliency and a will to win. And the Cowboys just, they just say we them boys and expect to win we them boys, we them boys, we them up.
Hey, and we them boys. Yeah, I hear that shit. Dude, I hate it when Facebook just rolls with, like, you see one Dallas win and it goes on. It's like 6 years later. They finally, like, the season's finally over, and they're still like, hey, remember that one game? It was a catch, bro. It was a fucking catch.
If winning a football game was turning off the lights, you would see a bunch of cockroaches, dude. And those are Cowboys fans. Because when the lights come off, the roaches come out. And they're like, boys. But when the lights come back on, a.k.a. they lose, they scatter. Right. We got to hide. We got to go back to hiding because we cockroaches. Hate them.
Did you go to that Dallas game?
That was Frank. That was Frank with Danny.
Yeah, and they were in the stadium. There was Frank
had a few. He was tanking Frank the Tank, and he was talking some major shit for the Eagles.
Speaking of Frank the Tank, yeah, I'm gonna jump here.
Go for it.
Holy fucking Rays up, son!
I wanted to talk about the Rays. I had the Rays on the books. Dude. Oh, by the way, before the Rays, quick interjection. You were unaffected by seeing my cheesehead, which I saw you pregame. We were talking about, like, hey, man, let me pour some coffee. And then I was like, I'm going to throw on the cheesehead, see if I can make him laugh. And you were just like, that's just fucking Taylor.
That's Taylor on a fucking Sunday. I expect that shit. I know. I've done way too long to fucking be like, oh, he's wearing a fucking cheesehead. Like,
dude, I take it everywhere. I put jerseys on my dogs, dude. It's game day for the cheeseheads. Now, Tampa Bay. Hell of a series, by the way. Fuck the Astros. We've said, if this was Pee Wee Herman, fuck would be the word of the day because we've said it a ton of times. But fuck him. I hate him. I don't care. People are like, I'm so impressed with these interviews and how they're handling all the. Fuck them, dude. They cheated. They should get their title stripped. There should be no champion that season. Don't even give it to second place. Just say voided because of fucking cheaters. And then you send a message that said, oh, shit, no one will win. Like, that's kind of some bullshit.
Yeah.
And then, oh, hey, we're back. We're right where we left off. No, fuck you guys.
We earned this.
Yeah. No.
No.
And
so let's talk about Correa on this fucking team. Because I remember.
Dude, go ahead. I'm going to pour another coffee. You just keep talking, okay?
All right. I remember Correa spring training this year, and he went into this big fucking bitch and moan, and he was like, oh, man, we're so good, and, we we still had a chance to win the game. And he started breaking down the game and the play, like in Game 7, and how they were getting runners on second. And he's like, and you switch the signal, so we couldn't even steal the signs, or whatever when we had runners on first and third. So we had to have runners on second, you know what I mean? And he's like backing them up and all this shit. And then he's like, fuck the haters. I'm like, motherfucker, you just asked for like Aroldis Chapman to throw like 106 at your fucking head.
Yeah.
And like, if COVID hadn't happened, they would have had at least, I swear to God, at least 4 brawls this year. Mark my words, that would happen.
More.
And it might happen.
I think they would have had a brawl with almost every team in the MLB, specifically those they beat in the playoffs, the Dodgers twice.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's Beam City. That's open season.
Hard. They literally there was an over and under bet.
That's duck season for Prather.
Oh yeah,
open fucking season. Yeah,
I would have smacked that ass. There was literally like a over and under bet. I remember us talking about this before, and it was like 80. How many hit by pitches do you think like each one of these dudes is going to have? And it was something stupid. It was like 89 or some shit like that, or something
very high.
Yeah, and I was like, well, no shit. And then in spring training, they were just getting fucking plunked, dude. And I was like, yes. Give me more of this. And then COVID happened, and everybody's like, oh, shit, well, we might have to fight these dudes if we keep throwing at them. So we got to be worried about COVID.
And with every league, the NBA, the way they handled it, the amount of games they played, the NHL, the way they handled it, the amount of games they played, those are still championships. The way they handled it. But if the fucking Astros would have somehow pulled out that upset coming back and winning 4 games to 3 and then going on to win, I'd be like, dude, fuck this COVID shit,
Oh, yeah. Fuck 2020.
But for real, championships are championships. Everybody in the league still played the same amount of games, even though it is a shortened season. It's not like it was a shortened season for those specific teams.
I will say this though, this is where the Astros snuck in because they changed the playoff system. So weren't they like last in the AL? They had like the worst season to get into the postseason.
They did change the playoff season, so that did benefit them from entering the playoffs.
Yeah, they wouldn't have got in. I mean, they wouldn't have got in. They were a fucking wild card team.
Now, how stressed were you every game leading up to the ultimate climax of Game 7 for?
At 3-0, I was feeling pretty hot. I was like, good shit. Fuck these motherfuckers, about to sweep that ass as well deserved. Mm-hmm. They went 3-1. They went 3-1, and I was like, all right, well, I seen Frankie comment. He's like, oh shit, or something. And I was like, hey, bro.
I saw it. The good thing about the one good thing about Facebook is when friends talk, you know about it. Alex Prather commented on.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
new notification.
Yeah.
And then 3-2 or 3-3? I forget which one I just said. 3-3. I was like, don't you fucking do this to me. Don't you do it.
And it was a tight game.
Dude, it was, what was it, 4-2 final?
4-2 final, yeah.
And this Rosina, or I don't even know how to say this motherfucker's name. This dude he's a rookie, right? And I think he's like a Cuba defect or some shit like that. Has battled it like he was getting paid like $36 a month to play baseball at one point in his life, and now he's like ALCS MVP, potentially the postseason MVP. Like, dude's a stud.
Right?
Like, what the fuck?
Right.
But I'm curious to see tonight is Game 7, Atlanta, Dodgers. Let's go.
Now,
Who do you got?
I got the Braves. I think the Dodgers are one of the greatest regular season MLB baseball teams we've seen in the last 15 years. But when it comes time for the playoffs, they just kick rocks. I think Atlanta, like the Rays, let them dangle too long. But I think the Dodgers, if the Dodgers win, I think the Dodgers game plan tonight is use everybody. Use all your starting pitchers if you have to, lay it all out on this.
Except for Kershaw.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Which
get jacked.
Somebody that we served with was like, I hope the Dodgers win because I have his rookie card. I'm like, what a shitty fucking reason to root for the Dodgers. First of all,
chubby boy with a big ass nose.
Yeah. What is chubby boy with a big ass nose? That's your daily double. Yeah. And I mean, people might be like, oh, these guys are asshole. First of all, we'll say it to his face. Second of all, we're not saying his name. I'm not trying to slander people's names.
Right.
I'm not trying to just put people's names on blast. That's why we call it like Douche Chief, all these different people, like, we know who we're talking about, little inside jokes here and there, but yeah. You hit the head on the nail right there. And look,
Call
I got a
Douche
fucked up
Chief.
nose too, so I'm allowed to say it.
Right.
But anyways, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Dodgers. And I'd like to see, Braves, Atlanta. Wow, duh. Atlanta Braves and Tampa Bay Rays
That'd be a
rhymes.
game.
But those are two teams you never see, okay? And people are like, oh, viewership and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it's
Yeah.
going to be exciting. It's going to be
Yeah.
matchups. It's going to be matchups that you don't get to see in the finals very often. You got to give a shout out to Atlanta because they've sucked for many years.
Yes.
They're hitting their window now.
Yep. Their
Like,
youth finally paid off, and so it's the farm systems, man. I'm telling you, in baseball, that's what it is. It's you have to develop these guys, and Kevin Cash with the Tampa Bay is one of the best at that player development. He just got AL Manager of the Year and that stuff too. But the Braves are doing the same thing, man. Their pitching staff, they finally figured it out there, and veterans are stepping up. And
it is Sunday, and I had to apologize to my viewers. I had a shorter podcast last week. Conflict of schedules. You were working out of state. I said let's do it on Sunday. This episode for video is going to premiere on Monday morning. The podcast I usually throw out as soon as it's done. So if you're like if you're a hard listener, please comment. Please tell me where you're listening from. I've got some fans in Ghana, some friends, Sweden, download in Finland. I don't know if you're using VPNs or what, but if you're listening to me internationally, I would like to know it. So please comment. Go to jtofjville.com and all that jazz. Twitter, JTofJville. I don't know if it's allowed in your country. International laws, but it's Sunday, and I was like, I got to get Prather on because I know you got another busy week.
oh yeah, traveling again.
But I have the red zone on in the background because fantasy football this year, it's been hard with COVID. Players getting COVID, they contract COVID. Yahoo does a great job at letting you know, hey, this game got pushed to Tuesday, but the points are still going to count for this week. They are very good at emailing. The league that I'm in, people are concerned, like, hey, we all play with the same fucking risk. Okay. I had my starting quarterback in one of my leagues, Cam Newton, go out. He's my number one quarterback. I got Ryan Fitzpatrick starting today. Okay. Right now I'm facing cut. Let me give you a quick update. I got the red zone on. By the way, the Bengals just doinked it off the bar, missing a go-ahead field goal. But I'm facing cut today, so our friendships but the bond is cut today.
Yeah. No communication.
I started. Oh, dude, I'm definitely gonna lose. I started the Lions defense, and they were doing well. They had 16 points. Jacksonville put up a few points. They only have 7 now. But I started a total of 4 Lions players, including their kicker, their tight end who did score a touchdown. But Marvin Jones Jr., I can't wait to drop your fucking ass. I hope you hear this. You've been garbage through 6 weeks. I'm tired of fucking having you on my team. I'm so sad Emmanuel Sanders is on his bye week. I'm tired of fucking buys. They've been kicking my ass, dude.
Yep.
Jared Cook's coming back. But I've got so many players from the same teams this week because, like, honestly, like, I probably dropped 6 defenses this week. And every time we gets dropped, people are like, everyone can see who you're dropping. Pepper and Cutter, like, Pepper emailed me last night. It was probably 2 a.m, but he's on Alaska time. And he was like, dude, you doing good, dude? You okay? And I was like, yeah, dude, what's up? And he's like, I saw you picked up the Lions defense. I was like, I know what I did, but honestly, they were the best option I have this week. Like, throw up on everything else, The Patriots are currently losing to the Broncos, which I think the Broncos just took over on 4th down, making the Patriots going 2-3 this season. So that's pretty wild. Packers play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. They play them at 4:25. So
I got to get your opinion on this.
Go ahead.
So Brady, right? We all thought he was the golden child of the Pats for the longest freaking time, and he was going to retire with them and have like 5, 6 rings, whatever.
Right.
What happens in his career
6, but yeah.
right now? What happens 2020 postseason? Where's Tampa Bay ranked? Give me that.
All right. So this week specifically, I hope the Packers prepare. They had a bye week. Tom Brady has been looking a little old. Okay, I'm gonna knock on wood because the game hasn't started yet. The Achilles heel of the Packers has always been our defense. Okay, the year that we won the Super Bowl, we had a top 5 defense, and we have very good talent come in and out of offense, led by Aaron Rodgers for all these years. But our problem lies in defense. This year we have a dynamic run pass offense. Aaron Rodgers threw 3 touchdowns 2 weeks ago before the bye week to a tight end that I think 17% of fantasy owners had on their team. Tanyan, I believe his name is. So the one diverse thing about Aaron Rodgers is he can throw to anybody. Doesn't matter. One of my favorite quotes, I've said it before, I'll say it again. One of my favorite quotes, I forget who said it, said that Aaron Rodgers can take his top 5 Twitter followers and make them pretty much all pro fucking wide receivers. I think today the Packers do get the dub. But overall, Tampa Bay will make the playoffs. I don't know if they'll win their division, but I know they'll at least get a wild card. Gronk's been looking very fatigued this season. Hasn't looked anywhere close to Gronk of the past. But it's just that new system. It's the Bruce Arians system, a new offense. You know, Tom Brady in 20 years for the Patriots had his timing down with his receivers, had the playbook down, him and Bill. Bill and Tom were a 50-50 duo. Like Tom's a great quarterback, best in the game ever. Bill Belichick, best in the coach in the game ever. But the key difference is now for the first time in 20 years, they have to start. One team starts with a new quarterback, and now the Patriots going to be 2-3, and the Buccaneers, they have a new quarterback, and it still takes time to get your feet wet. There's a long road season, but I think if Tampa Bay can get their shit together, they're probably going to be one of the hardest offenses to beat, period, come postseason, because we're still in the first half of the NFL right now.
Yeah.
And college is kind of different because usually college is a short, like Big Ten, for instance. The way college football works, if you don't know, is a lot of team, unless you open up with I like it too when you have opening weeks of like number 3 versus 7 interconference play very first week of the season. That's starting out football with some electricity for college. But a lot of the times for the first 3 or 4 weeks, it's Michigan pays this bullshit school that's still Division I, who doesn't get a lot of people. They're getting paid $1 million to come to the University of Michigan.
I come beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's pretty much scrimmage. It's still a real game. The other team's trying to pull out that upset. They're still starting their starters. That team should blow them out and or win. But that smaller school is getting paid to be there. Like, they can't make that money without.
I can't enough about what you're talking about right now. I know like Appalachian State.
Yeah.
I'm talking North Texas, Toledo, like all these bullshit schools. We paid millions and millions and millions of dollars over the Chad Morris era to get the shit kicked out of us on national television.
Toledo's a MAC school. They had a good program at the time. Central Michigan MAC school. They beat Michigan State in 2009. I was at the game. I was wearing the Chippewa gear, alma mater, fire up chips. Pepper likes to pretend he goes there. But basically, we've seen the upsets. I don't disagree with doing that. It helps those programs get notoriety. It helps them recruit. It helps them get money for their program, because the amount of money lost this year for college football, I couldn't believe it. Okay, the amount of money.
Have you seen any stats on that?
It's in the upper it's in the upper millions. Like here, let me Google this real quick. U of M money lost for football this year. Now, when they first said the number, 80 to 85 million for Michigan State for one year, and you got it. Okay, so let me lay this out for you. 110 Michigan. Okay, this record's going to be void from now on. It kind of upsets me. Pre-COVID, the University of Michigan had over 100,000 fans at almost 300 games in a row. It might be more than that. I'm pretty sure it's right around 300. 100,000 people. At one point, I think the population of Ann Arbor now exceeds, but at one point you could fit the entire population of Ann Arbor inside of the big house.
Yeah.
With the new suites, it holds about, I think, 114,000. I know the number's gone up, but you had more than 250 plus games with 100,000 fans in your stadium. At $8 a fucking pop, which is soda, at $5 a hot dog, and the potential that beer might be sold within the next 5 years, you are making millions of dollars every game on concessions.
Every minute.
You are making multiple millions of dollars on ticket sales. The Ohio State game ticket sales are fucking crazy. Now, I know that like the tickets get jacked and they don't specifically get paid, but those games are higher priced as always. So every game, U of M makes millions of dollars, and you know they're taking hits for their program, but it's just 1 year, to be real.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird that the South is, let's open it up and let's pack these fucking fans in here. And I'm sitting up here up north like it's about to get real fucking cold, man. Real cold.
You're gonna want to snuggle pretty soon.
Yeah, and you won't be able, and you won't be able to.
Right.
But the amount of money that they've lost this year is crazy. But I kind of like, I know we're touching back in college football, but I do kind of like this conference only shit for one season, because it's kind of like it's going to set you up for next year, because hopefully next year in 2021 we go back to interconference play, pack stands, COVID's gone, we all get the vaccine, or we said fuck it. I don't know what the U.S. government's going to do about it.
Right.
But if we go back to normality next year, I can't wait for it, because you're going to have a season of interconference play. You're going to have interconference rankings, and then you're going to say, hey, so the number one SEC school last year was blank, probably Alabama. They're facing the best Big Ten school this year per their schedule. Let's see how they matched up this year compared to them matching up interconferencely last year.
Yeah.
Because I will say that one of the things that I think it was the Arkansas head coach who originally said he would like to see the SEC sign a deal with the Big Ten and do matchups. And by matchups, he wanted the number one face the number one, the number two face the number two. I love that. I'm all for that. Get rid of the phonies.
Yeah.
And people don't want to do it because they're like, well, it's, down in the season that, if we lose that game, we're not going to make the national championship. Win the fucking game. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're that scared to face a school that you potentially might face in the college football playoffs, which needs a new format, then shut the fuck up and win that regular season game. I would love to see, like,
you shouldn't walk into a championship or into the playoff system. You should not be able to physically do that. That's I said it again.
Yeah. No. Don't worry. I'll be all out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working on that. But anyways.
Yeah. No. It happens.
It shouldn't be. It's not. Oh man, well, we might not make the playoffs. That sounds like the most Ohio State thing I've ever heard in my life. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Let's play some freaking hard-nosed football, and let's give America what they want. 13 games out of the year. Like, come on.
I think either the second to the last game or right after you finish conference play. I think okay. As much as the usual college format is 3 off games, start conference play. If I could go talk to the NCAA, I would say, here's the format: 2 games, whatever you want. Okay, you get 2 warm-up games as these big Power 5 programs. You start interconference play to make it 10 games. You finish your interconference play. Your 11th game, you start matching up these schools. Okay, you can sign whatever contracts you sign with whatever Big Ten, SEC, Pac-12. You can do whatever you want, but I want to see a preview. So I want to see this. So the conference play is finished. You've got the conference championship wrapping up the week after. But if you have I think every conference should have a conference championship game. because you could be on the easy side of the East or West, depending on how your conference is divvied up. But I think that seeing that game preview gets rid of a lot of phonies who scapegoat into the college football playoff system anyways.
Yes.
Because a lot of the times Alabama's a dominant football program, but a lot of the times they don't play anybody 10 out of 11 games of the year. They'll have one hard game.
Go beat Florida for the SEC championship, because they're in the East. And then it's like the East, SEC East is just not as – it's not the West. You know what I mean? No. The West is the wild fucking West. And they have that game, and then these guys go up here, and you know what I mean? They're already – like there's –
the biggest thing I see with the SEC that I hate the most is if you're not an Alabama fan, everybody hates Alabama. But as soon as the college football playoffs are SEC, baby, that's us. That's us, baby. Okay. I hate that. I hate
that's
that.
Like your little brother, dude, or your big brother. Like,
yeah, but when Ohio State's in there, I'm like, I understand as a fan, I'm supposed to root for them for the conference. But fuck.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's conference. It's like a weird family bond that we have.
Right.
So I want to beat the shit out of them. Don't get me wrong. Every year we play them, but if they, get into the championship and they get into the playoffs, I'm like, man, don't let fucking Oregon do some stupid shit and beat y'all. Don't let fucking Ohio State do some stupid shit and beat y'all.
I remember when Oregon was one of the top schools in the nation for the longest time because of their dynamic offense, the Chip Kelly system. They were almost offensively unbeatable some games, but then they would come to the big leagues and just get smacked because
defense wins championships.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like seeing dynamic offenses and all this and that, you miss the smash mouth power eye football. Let's throw my 1,000-pound offensive line up against your defensive line and let's run it down your throats. Yeah. And let's get some motherfucking muscling on defense.
Yes.
To make your offense hurt.
Yeah.
I want every time they get tackled, I want them to say, that fucking hurt. I don't want to run at that guy anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want it to look like Air Force is playing like
Navy.
Navy. Yeah, that's not a game. I want it to be like at one point
with the Air Force team is like, tradition aside, I'm tired of that winged offense, dude.
Yeah. They have to stay within like Air Force like physical standing regulations and stuff. So like they're, you know what I mean? Like all they can do is run the ball and just be quick. That's it.
They run the same play 90% of the game. They decided to either hand it off to the running back, the fullback, the wide receiver that jets over, and then every once in a while they'll pass it. It's boring, okay? Integrate a real offense, okay? I understand like it might be tradition, but traditions can die.
They can.
You can finally say I'm tired of.
That's why there's a Super Bowl now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. We're not doing NFL championships anymore.
Right.
We call it the Super Bowl. And if you,
by the way, how many Eagles Super Bowls just for Frankie? Because I gotta kick him in the balls.
Una, I had Frankie on last week because now being a Floridian, he's cheering for Tampa, and he likes the Bucks. But I had to tell him like, yo, I just said like, yo, you just won one 3 years ago, dog. 3 years ago,
dude. You're still like in contention potentially.
I mean, weak ass conference, terrible conference. Yeah,
you get a shot at the postseason easy.
I mean, like here, I don't even know if the Eagles won today, but if they did, then they're still that the Eagles. No, the Eagles lost. They were playing the Ravens. But man, dude, I need Ryan Fitzpatrick to get like 36 points for me to beat Cut. Because I mean, like, I really need this fantasy football win, real bad. Ending it, I'm really sad that you're not going to be up for Boys Week.
I mean, it's still up in the air.
I mean, hey, dude, all I'm saying is all the Coors you can drink on me. I'll take you out to eat to my favorite local restaurant, Saucy Dogs, not a sponsor. And then traditionally what I do at my house, because, I own this hunk of junk, is I fly a Barstool Sports Saturdays for the boys flag because I have a flagpole. It has my state of Michigan flag. I love that flag. Has it waving in front of my house, but when the boys come into town, I put the Saturdays for the boys flag so everyone knows that the boys are in town. And then so what I'm gonna do next when they leave is I'm gonna take my trumpet outside and I'm gonna play taps, and while the flag gets lowered.
That's dope.
But not the disrespect fallen military members. This is just satire and parody. But we're gonna have a grand old time. Drink some drinks. We're gonna do a couple podcasts. We're thinking about ordering Hot Ones. Have you ever seen that program? The chicken wing eating thing where they eat wings and it's more spicy to the next one.
Oh, like you did in Clovis with the Buffalo Wing Challenge thing, kind of.
Well, that's one. That's one
no,
heat.
what you're talking about? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But it was a very long week. I've had a very stressful week. I'm hoping the Packers win today. I replaced my water heater after busting a pipe and flooding my basement. Very stressful week, but I'm really hoping for
a dub.
A dub tonight. So, do you got anything else that you want to add before we sign out?
Man, just woo pig, baby, woo pig, go Rays.
If we come up, if you do come up, we'd have to do something like we'll get you on the mic, we'll record a song, and then we'll hit you.
We could write a song. I'm telling you.
And then I'll shoot a quick music video for you.
Yeah, a little ukulele versus acoustic electric guitar battle.
It'd be too much for them to handle, but I'm gonna sign off here. We can stay on and bullshit, but thanks for viewing, guys. Have a good one.